Oh my god! This week of new music, I'm being rambunctious, Vince. I don't know if you can feel my energy. I'm trying
I
to
can feel
push it through the screen. What's up, everybody? Welcome to EDM Chatters, the news show covering everything that's been happening in our industry this week. From brand new tracks to sensational stories and topics that matter, we're here to fill you in.
I am one of your hosts, Vincent Beck, producer here at EDM Matters, and with me, as always, is the LA beard guy and the host of EDM Matters, Matthew Meadow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing today, Vince?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
We're shooting this on a Friday.
Yeah.
Happy Friday, Matt.
Happy Friday, Vince.
Matt, you're looking like a troll.
Troll doll.
Troll doll.
Troll doll.
Is that the correct term? Troll
Well, I mean,
doll?
I think it's important to to differentiate between a troll doll.
Okay, well,
and a
we'll
troll.
revert back, rewind it. You're looking like a troll doll today.
Thank you.
Matthew.
Oh, that's so sweet of you to say. Yeah. Since last week, I told Mark Kismet I was dyeing my hair gray. That clearly
didn't happen.
Didn't happen. It went a little bluer than I expected, but I'm rolling with the punches.
Yeah,
it'll fade. It'll fade. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. It's
Speaking of fades, look at that.
Oh, look at you. You got a haircut too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I needed
nice,
to
buddy.
look sharp for the lady going up for Thanksgiving tomorrow, actually. So
yeah,
there you go.
We're gonna get back to Thanksgiving at the end of this. We're gonna say everything we're thankful of, but I'm thankful for prepositions, man. Right? Yeah. Like what the
words?
Prepositions. I'm not a linguistics major or anything. I don't write for a living.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, let's move on. To our first story of the day. Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna compose myself. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on.
You got this. I believe.
I got this. We got this. Yeah. Nothing's wrong. Yeah. So last week we talked about Ultra Taiwan and how we wanted to be there so badly. As it turns out, according to some local Taiwan news, 4 traveling DJs who arrived in Taiwan about 2 weeks before the festival were fined, FINED, because they violated quarantine by meeting in a common area to eat and rehearse for the show. And of course, these are DJs who probably haven't seen each other in months, and they've always played the same festivals. So it's hard to blame them, but at the same time, respect the country's quarantine rules. They were fined the equivalent of about $350. And the report never actually explicitly stated what DJs violated the quarantine rules, but as they mentioned, for visiting DJs, it kind of narrows it down. The only DJs that visited the festival, a lot of them were locals. The ones that visited were Keizo, Vinny Vici, Slander, and Alesso. And only one of the guys from Vinny Vici came. Both of the guys from Slander came. They only mentioned 4 DJs. So take your pick. But and again, it's not 100% confirmed these DJs are the ones who broke quarantine. It's just sort of the most reasonable at this point. But still, I mean, you get this opportunity to go to this festival, 10,000 people. You haven't played a festival in months, and you go and break quarantine. Like, I don't really get the logic there.
Yeah, I don't know how quarantine works in Taiwan. I know in Australia they like lock you down. There's like a security guard and everything. It's like super serious.
I'm sure it's pretty similar. If you missed when we were talking about blank going back to Australia, they put you in a hotel room for 14 days by yourself. And they do have guards making sure you don't leave the room. And I'm not sure if you're allowed to have visitors. He did have his sister like drop off stuff for him at the hotel. So he had his whole production thing. He had food and a fridge with things to eat. but I don't know if she was allowed in the room or if she just like dropped him off in the lobby and someone brought him up, and I'm not sure how that works, but I'm sure it's similar in Taiwan. But yeah, I mean, $350 at the end of the day isn't a lot for these, worldwide DJs. But I mean, it's just a matter of respect, man.
Yeah, most definitely. That's just kind of like looks like a slap on the wrist for them, and it's just kind of unfortunate,
Yeah, and hopefully, I doubt anything will, happen because of it. I doubt any. You have to get COVID tests before you go as well, so it's just a matter of precaution. But still, be better.
Yeah,
That's all
definitely.
Yeah, but next up on the list. If you missed last weekend, Halcyon and Space Yacht teamed up for a live stream. And it also featured the debut set from Phonon. And I can't remember if we talked about Phonon on this show when he released
Polyrhythm?
Polyrhythm. Thank you. I can't remember if we did. We might have.
I don't think
might not.
I don't think we highlighted it. No.
Okay. Well, probably because it was so strange at the time. Now, 6 months later, I think he released it in May-ish.
Yeah.
5 months, whatever. Yeah, it's definitely grown on me. And after witnessing Phonon's debut set ever, holy shit, I am in love. Like, I know we were talking about this before the show. Like, this, God, like, it is a lot to process at once. Like, I don't know how often I can listen to this set, but listening to it for the first time with fresh ears, he did everything from freeform jazz to dubstep, chiptune. He had a little bit of drum and bass in there, some festival house, electro house, rock, rhythm, and miraculously kept it all pretty damn cohesive. Like, in my opinion, this was a breath of fresh air and exactly what dubstep needed, because I love dubstep, man. I do. But it has gotten a little bit stale.
I agree.
Yeah, no. Like, I don't think there's any other word for it. It has become homogenized, like milk that's pasteurized. Do you homogenize milk?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know you pasteurize it. Whatever. Anyway.
It's like soy milk or something. There's so many different kinds, but it all just tastes the same. It's just kind of.
Yeah. I can accept that.
I guess it's a metaphor. No, but I'd like to say this was an exciting set. I watched the recording after it was put up on YouTube. You can look it up, I think, on Halcyon's or Space Yacht's YouTube channel. Definitely check it out.
It is on Halcyon's. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, this is exciting. It was like he opened the set with like this smooth jazz, like I don't think it's like a break beat, but it was just like jazz, and you're just like, what guys, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
Brace yourselves.
As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, where's this gonna go? Oh, I was excited because like it was unexpected, and I think we become conditioned to the same rotating set list, and I can confidently say like 90% of the tracks in this set I had never heard before. So take that for what you will. But
most definitely. And for a guy like just running or performing a set for a live stream for no crowd, Phonon had so much energy the entire time.
He was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and everyone definitely check this one out. You just doing a thing over there, Matt?
Just doing a thing. Yeah. But yeah, go check this set out. We're doing great today.
It's a fun show. We're having fun.
This is what happens when we do Fridays instead of Saturdays, apparently. But our next story we want to talk about. As we all know, Ultra didn't happen this year. Not Ultra Taiwan, Ultra Miami. And that left a lot of people out of a job, and a lot of DJs unable to kickstart the festival year. So sad. But in other news, Ultra has filed a lawsuit against what is it? AG Production Services, who they hired to stage a lot of the locations at the venue. And they sued for nearly $800,000. Basically, they put down a $798,808.50 deposit. I don't know where the 50 cents comes from at that point. Like, does 50 cents really matter? But whatever. That was part of a nearly $1.6 million contract ahead of the festival, but it was canceled. The festival was canceled 16 days ahead of the event, and AG Productions did not return the deposit despite continuous requests from Ultra, and they did have a force majeure clause in their contract, which had to deal with any kind of events outside of their control, any large scale weather events. I guess a global pandemic also applies. But yeah, so AG Events told Ultra they'd already spent all the money on payroll, rental gear, trucking, hotel cost, and travel. Ultra said bullshit because their people and equipment never came to Miami. They hadn't actually started working. So hopefully they get their money back. I don't know what Ultra is going to do if they don't get a festival in 2021, honestly. Like, Road to Ultra Taiwan can only, line their coffers so much. Their bread and butter was the Miami event. So unless this gets resolved, they're going to be another $800,000 in the hole, which is not good.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's all there is to that. Hopefully we see a resolution to this soonish. I don't know. My perception of time is massively skewed with everything going on. So we'll let you know.
Yeah. I just hope we can see some good news out of the festival scene.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, absolutely. But our final story of the day, really exciting one, actually. Zedd did his first ever AMA on Reddit. If you don't know, that stands for Ask Me Anything. So he had fans pooling into this thread on Reddit, asking him questions. And surprisingly, like, some people aren't that forthright and responsive on Reddit AMAs, but Zedd was answering everything he could, everything he felt comfortable with answering. And we actually got some really great information. And the top of the list, Porter Robinson and Zedd collaboration might be happening. Like, not the Clarity kind of collaboration where Porter did some writing and vocals and then kind of kept his name off of it. If you didn't know that, Porter Robinson is on Clarity.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, some trivia for you there. But no, an actual honest to goodness collaboration. He says, Porter and I actually recently talked about getting together and working on some music. The pandemic certainly doesn't make it easier, but I'd love to get in a room with them. We grew up, he says, in this scene together. It would probably be really special. And you know what? I agree.
Can't wait.
Some other stuff he talked about. Some of the stuff he talked about was his new album. We're supposed to have an album sometime this year, but of course, he and so many other artists have pushed things back. He said, I decided to push back the album to when things are more back to normal. He's been working on music for other people, but he just hasn't felt the right motivation, the right inspiration. He says, my plan is to work on music for other people in the meantime, and when there is a rough idea of when clubs, etc., may reopen and the pandemic is under control, I'm going to shift gears back into album mode. And we've seen that from a lot of artists who haven't had a chance to promote their music like they used to. You'd drop a track and then that weekend you'd be playing a show, playing out the new track. Or you'd be teasing fans with new tracks even before it comes out. We're going to talk a little bit later about the new Excision and Slander. They teased that almost a year ago, and it just came out this week. So the timeline for tracks and albums to come out is so messed up now. Like, I don't blame him at all for pushing this back a little bit. But, I mean, I want it as soon as you can, And the final thing I'll talk about with Zedd is he was very honest about how he's doing right now. He's been sort of occupying his time with a lot of video games. He streams on Twitch. Xbox and PS5 both sent him care packages. I wish, but he gets real. He says, I certainly can say that I have felt more depressed than ever before in my life. I'm struggling quite a lot, so I don't know if I'm a good example here. While I rarely see people in person, I made a Discord group with my friends. We game every other night, or at least talk to each other. So, I mean, it's a little bit rare to see a DJ open up that candidly about their mental health. Obviously, it's been more common lately, but yeah, man, everyone's going through some shit right now, and we just got to remember that, especially on social media when we're so quick to judge and accuse. I just got to remember we're all in this together. We all got to do our part, wear a mask, social distance, and we'll get through this, as soon as we can. So, yeah. But that being said, let's move on to new music this week. Oh my god, this week of new music. I'm being rambunctious, Vince. I don't know if you can feel my energy. I'm trying to push it through the screen. Yeah, let's start with one of our good friends, Blank, actually. Just released an acoustic and a reprise version of his song Flatline. And listening to this song again with Calavania on the vocals, it makes me so happy, Vince. It makes me so happy.
It's such a good track. It
really
has
is.
all of the parts of Blank's vibe. It's so good. It has such a positive energy to it, and
positive energy is yeah.
And I just listened to it on my studio monitors, and it sounds fantastic when you crank that up.
Yeah. Oh god, so good. So Blank, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Next up, Malibu, one of my artists to watch this year. Wink, wink. He put out a track with Nitty Gritty a while ago that was fantastic, called Rock and Roll. And this time he teams up with Tidings for this song called Gave It All Away. And it's a super interesting mix of like trap and deep house with sort of like elements of each. And it's just a fantastic track. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm starting to find these artists that have just a consistency of quality. And between him and Tidings, who I've hasn't talked about before on the show, but who I've written about in the past as well, this is definitely a fantastic combination. And I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, but it's in our playlist. You can listen to it right now. And it's definitely worth the time. It's not that long. I think it's sub 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. So, take a break, go to the bathroom, take a poop, go listen to the song, do what you're going to do. But we also have a new song from Phonon himself. Right after dropping his set on YouTube, he's back with his new song. And it's EMME, which I'm just going to call M. I believe that's
how you pronounce it.
I don't know.
Emmy.
Emma. Let's go with M. But yeah, I mean, it's another sort of polyrhythm song, with really strange time signatures. It is, I mean, how do I really explain something that is so hard to explain? If you've heard Phonon before, you will enjoy this because it's the same sort of weird fucking song.
Yeah.
But it is just it's sort of brilliant the way he just messes with time signatures and completely makes them his own. And it's a great track. And you probably heard it in his set. So that was another little treat. It was like, oh, you heard this song that you like in our set? Oh, happy you. It's actually dropping right now. So go listen to that. It's in the playlist. Finally, this week, we have Rival and Caravan for their song Sleepwalking. And Rival has been another artist that I've been paying attention to this year who has done a lot of phenomenal work. And again, just quality releases, consistent releases. And this is a sort of a sad song. The very first piano note is just one note, just so much sadness. But the vocals are absolutely phenomenal from Caravan. It's like a siren song, and it's the composition is orchestral, massive, deep bass, room filling intensity, and it's something that Rival has worked with a lot in the past. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to this as well. I know we were just editing this run of show up until the very last minute, but
yeah, I took a listen to it for sure.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of an Millennium song, but like a little darker, actually. Like you said, the once you get into the intro, it sounds sad. The emotion is there, and then once you get into that drop, it continues like throughout the whole song, and it's a solid track for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And Vince, I know Thanksgiving is coming up this week, and it's been a weird year. It's hard to think of things to be thankful for, but I think I want to just say that I'm so thankful that you've joined me here on this journey, that you become a bigger part of the EDM Matters team, and I think we've both grown and improved a lot over the course of filming EDM Chatters, and I just really want to thank you for that.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. And likewise, yeah, I'm super thankful for creating this new show, this new idea format thing for the channel. And yeah, taking a bigger role, I guess. For the channel and everything. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for being like a really good friend to me, like all these years. Like we've been friends since college.
Yeah.
And we live in 2 different cities, but we've always found time to like reconnect, go to shows, that kind of thing. And like when we went to shows, I always appreciated like you like taking me backstage or something. I never like expected it, I was just like, oh shit, we're doing this. Oh my god, like I'm such an outsider to the industry, and like yeah, I really appreciate that about you, because your whole vibe and everything has always been positive, and yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I also want to give a big thank you to our viewers who let us keep fucking running our mouths every week and keep watching. So thank you for that. Especially, the people who have supported us from the beginning. Henry Lou from Space Yacht, More Kismet, Swarm, Blank, Smile, Pixel Terror, Vincent. I mean, I can name every single guest, but there's so many of you. Thank you guys so much for believing in us and believing in me and the show and coming on from the very beginning. We love you guys. But that does it for EDM Chatters. You can check out all the tracks we talked about and more in our EDM Matters Spotify Weekly Picks playlist. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings and maybe learned a thing or two. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel if you want more exciting EDM content from us. We will see you in the next one.
See you guys.